Like, comment, subscribe, and tap that bell so you be notified when the next video drops, and follow me on other social platforms. Alright, fuck the intro, let's get into the video. What's happening, y'all? It is Mufasa and Uncaged, and I'm back with another Is It Worth It review. And the game I'm reviewing today is Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Now, I know a lot of people have been shitting on this game, been shit bombing it, and hell, I have to give my 2 cents on this game too. So without further ado, fuck the intro, let's get into the video. If you don't know the story to this game, it's just as the title says. The Suicide Squad are brought in to kill the Justice League after their minds have been taken over by Brainiac. The game is set in the Arkham universe, but this time it's set in Superman's backyard, Metropolis. Throughout the story, you'll get introduced to other side characters like Penguin, Gizmo, Lex Luthor, Toyman, and Poison Ivy. When you're roaming around the city, you're able to hear what the Justice League is planning against the Suicide Squad. The way missions are played out in this game is you're either rescuing hostages, collecting a certain amount of orbs, drop them off, and defend the objective, all while fucking shit up in the process. There were some questions that I had during the story, but I'll get to that later, and let me tell y'all about the gameplay though. The gameplay in here will have you moving around a lot. Traversing and keeping momentum is the main thing to remember because this game is fast paced. Playing as each character brings similar gameplay with all of them having guns. The difference is the movement between them. Deadshot has a jetpack that you can use flying around and giving him more mobility in the air like a Mandalorian. Harley uses Batman's drone and grappling hook to swing through the air like a watered down Spider-Man. She could also hang and swing off of it as if she's like Miley Cyrus coming in like a wrecking ball. Captain Boomerang can use the Speed Force Gauntlet, allowing him to throw his boomerang to a destination and run to it. King Shark is able to use Super Jump and swim in the air. When it comes down to combat, you'll need to stay on your toes because you will have hella enemies coming for your head. To stay alive, you'll need to be on the move or harvest shields from enemies by shooting them in their legs. This game is also a looter shooter, so you'll be switching around gear for better equipment. The squad has their own signature weapons along with weapons you obtain doing missions. Each one of them have their own melee weapons to use. Deadshot has his wrist cannons, Harley has a bat or a hammer, Captain Boomerang has his boomerang of course, and King Shark, machete and his sickles. Depending on who you play with, you'll be able to use certain weapons. For example, Harley can use pistols, SMGs, and heavy weapons, whereas someone like Deadshot, who's known to be good with guns, only uses assault rifles, pistols, and snipers. The support team, which is Penguin, Poison Ivy, and Toyman, are there for the Suicide Squad. Penguin hooks you up with gear and guns, Poison Ivy applies elemental damage to your weapons, and Toyman can change the mods of your gear. You'll do side missions for them, and in return, they'll hook you up. Real alert challenges are also make a comeback in the game. Doing these unlock new customization for the squad. When it comes down to the skill tree, they took a page out of Borderlands. The skill tree mostly contains stat boosts and a few actual new skills. To activate your talents, you'll have to traverse and kill enemies to increase your combo. There are a few varieties with enemies. You'll have your regular grunts, snipers, big grunts, helicopters, and tanks, and one of them can use the Speed Force just like Flash. At the time of this review, I have beat the game and clocked in about 28 hours on the game. First thing I want to say is that there's a lot of people who wanted this game to be great. Seeing as the game is connected to the Arkham universe, me personally, I think Gotham Knights should have took the place in the Arkham universe. Now hear me out. Seeing as the way Arkham Knight ended and Gotham Knight started with Batman supposedly dying, I think it would have fitted going into the next chapter of the Arkham series. In the Arkham games, you can play as Robin, Nightwing, and Red Hood. If I could offer feedback to the developers, is that they should have done more with Melee. What would have been cool is if they gave Deadshot a flamethrower on his wrist. Harley should have had more melee attacks, to be honest, since her signature weapons are either a bat or a hammer. That's what they should have done with the skill tree and melee attacks. I feel like Suicide Squad could have been its own thing with no attachment to the Arkham universe. Not saying that it doesn't belong in the Arkham universe. I do think that people are going too hard on the game just because it's set in the Arkham universe. Now, there were some things I would have liked to see and could have been better. For instance, I didn't like how every mission mainly was you defending objectives, collecting orbs, and dropping them back off. To me, it seems like they didn't put too much thought into the missions. They would give you certain conditions to kill enemies, like only critical hits kill them, elemental damage or grenade damage hurts enemies. I didn't agree with it being a looter shooter either, and the skill tree mostly being stat boost and barely actually any new skills. That was disappointing. This game is like a DC version of Guardians of the Galaxy or like an Agents of Mayhem. Where they really lacked that was the boss fights. They weren't what I expected to see from fighting the Justice League. I guess what I was expecting was something more creative and epic since they're the Justice League. 3 of these boss fights were almost the same. The only problem I had was keeping an eye on the fight where they were at, since 2 of them had super speed. I will say this though, Suicide Squad stood on business when it came down to killing the Justice League. I heard people were upset that they were actually able to do it, but I don't understand how though, because literally it's in the name of the title. When it came down to taking down the Justice League, it didn't go as I thought it would go, but their deaths and how you take them down didn't really have much impact behind it or a heartfelt emotion, you know? Like, it was just, that's it. Okay, I guess that's it. When I got to the end of the game, it didn't feel completed. And the reason to that is because of the live service. The live service is what's going to ruin this game's future. In the end game, you can tell the story doesn't feel completed just because of this multiverse they got going on. So the ending left me disappointed because they wanted you to go through these seasons and continue the story and see the true ending. That right there says they sold us a part of the game with extra epilogues. They announced the Joker is coming in the first season, so the story picks up from there whenever they drop him. Other characters have been rumored to join in later seasons, like Mrs. Freeze, Deadshot's daughter, and Deathstroke. If I had to pick any other characters to join the squad, I wouldn't mind seeing Katana or Killer Croc. They could have even put some of the characters from James Gunn's Suicide Squad, Bloodsport, Peacemaker, or Polka Dot Man for shits and giggles. I know it may seem like I just bashed this game, but I'm just disappointed how the game was handled. You had the 2 CEOs of Rocksteady leave and WB getting involved with development on how the game was being made. That right there says a lot. I was also left with questions after the credits rolled. How did the invasion start? How did the Justice League minds get taken over by Brainiac? How come Wonder Woman didn't fall under Brainiac's control? Where's Martian Manhunter and Aquaman? Where's the rest of the Bat family? And why the fuck the Riddler in here? And why the fuck is he quizzing people in the middle of all this shit? Like, nigga, you ain't got nothing else better to do? With everything that has happened with DC and WB between movies and games, they need a W. Excluding Harry Potter, because Harry Potter sold well last year. This game might have been lacking to me, but to you, is it worth it? As always, I'll leave it up to you. If you stay to the end, I'll appreciate it. I'll appreciate it if you go and check out my other content that's on my channel and on my other social platforms. If you want to support your boy, then hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell so you'll know when I drop my next video. Tell me your thoughts on the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League in the comments. This has been another Is It Worth It review from Mufasa the Uncaged, and I'll see you in the next video.